everybody. Welcome to the Quarter Life Podcast. I am your host, Renee.
Oh, I thought you forgotten your name. And I'm Kristen.
No, friend, I just wanted the suspense to build up. We're 20 episodes in. How do I know if they know me or not?
Holy crap, we've been doing this for 20 episodes? Where have I been?
I'm not here, I guess. Woo, 20 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
That is 20 weeks, which equals some months.
Yep.
So we in it for the long haul now. No escaping. Nah. Yep. Well, of course, we have one big news story coming out of last week, or I guess, last week as the recording of this podcast, which was the inauguration. And since we haven't given our thoughts on that and the plethora of memes that have come out of it, we will start there and give our thoughts. And I have a very special thing that I want to share with you guys and Kristen, and just to get your thoughts on that. Surprise for later. So, Kristen, the inauguration of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. How do you feel?
I feel okay. I mean, you know what? It's actually kind of strange, and I don't remember if I felt this way during previous inaugurations, but I'm like, this is going to take a minute for me to get used to saying President Biden, and just VP Harris and stuff like that. So, but I feel okay. I watched the entire thing until I didn't when I took a nap, but
I mean, it was a long process, so.
It was, but it was also really strange to see the motorcade and everything and not have anyone outside to witness it.
Yeah.
Just straight police officers and Secret Service, and then the media.
Yeah. Oh, no. They had more soldiers and troops over there than they did in Afghanistan. And that is a fact. So they were not playing around.
Yeah, that was strange. I did kind of feel a little nervous just because of everything that happened with the insurrection. And, I knew that they had the troops and all of that in the National Guard, but I don't know. I was a little skittish because I'm like, okay, let's get this process going. Let's get them sworn in. Let's get them from out in the elements, back into, get them in the White House. I don't know, because you just never know. Things are so crazy these days. So, but thankfully everything kicked off and everything went well. So.
Well, if you're going by Fox News, he was sworn in too early. He was sworn in 10 minutes before noon. Oh, so that is blasphemous.
First of all, I don't go by Fox News for anything. I won't even read Fox News articles.
But yeah, they had a lot of problems after his first day in office. One, he was sworn in too early. Two, he apparently owns a Peloton and they don't know why he owns a Peloton. They have
how dare
a bunch of crazy things. He likes Rolexes, so
apparently
that's a thing.
He's only been, in politics for 1,000 years. If he can't afford a Rolex by now, my God, girl. Versus, Trump, who they said had a special button for Diet Coke.
Diet Cokes. Yeah, I know.
That blew my mind. And they were pissed that he removed the Diet Coke button. I'm like, what?
Honestly, though, I would be pissed if they removed, because what if I wanted to switch that up? What if I wanted regular Coke and I wanted a button to press just to get regular Coke? Or what if I wanted whiskey and I could have a whiskey button or a muffin button? So many
options for this.
So many options.
Or how about you could just ask someone to bring it to you?
See, nah, that's unpresidential, okay?
Oh, is it?
I am demanding. That's unpresidential. There's a button for that.
The added 5 seconds is going to take to ask someone versus just the 1 second to press that lazy ass button.
Exactly. That's 4 seconds.
That is so lazy.
That is 4 seconds, one. And then I have to talk to people face to face. I ain't got time for all that. If there's an app for that, there's a button for that.
That is ridiculous. So I knew that I had heard about the Peloton thing, but I had only heard about it from a security standpoint. I didn't know that people were pissed that he actually owned one. What is that to
Yeah.
be mad about? Shit, I want a Peloton.
Well, I mean, I want a Peloton too, but apparently they're like, oh, Biden is more of a push-up person. So what is he doing with the Peloton? Like, what kind of scandals do you have to make up about this person one day?
If that is all we have, then I'll take it. You're pissed because he has a Peloton. I will take it. I'll take you being pissed about his Rolex. Like, I don't care.
And
I want to
apparently
talk
he
about
didn't
that.
deliver the speech with high energy. So,
Well, they've been going at him forever, talking about how he's not, this great orator. So, what did they expect? I want to talk about that old ass family Bible. Like, that was the largest Bible.
well, he's Catholic. So that was.
Holy crap, that thing came with locks on it.
That thing came with its own history, like for real. It's like he came how all these young whippersnappers don't know about 200 BC.
I'm like, I have like 3 different Bibles, and I'm like, so what's my family Bible going to be? That pink Bible I have over there in the corner?
Yeah.
That thing is ancient.
You got about 2,000 more years before you get a Bible like that.
I just need to know who held on to that. Like, who decided that they needed a Bible that big in their family? I don't even remember Bibles being that big from like ever. Why?
2,000 years, just wait. But I don't know. I actually don't know what was the reason behind, other than, the Catholic Bible, because he's Catholic. But I didn't know they were going to blow the dust off of this ancient artifact that they found. That was, and how old is his family? That brings into another question. How old is his family?
Well, I think the Bible is like 200 years old or something.
Is it an autographed copy? That's what I need to know.
Man, that thing, yeah, we need a documentary just on that Bible alone. I'm curious. Like, how did you guys keep up with it? Well, I mean, obviously you can't lose it. It's massive.
Has anyone ever dropped it on their toe?
Oh my God, they probably broke their foot. That thing is huge. I'm going to Google it, once we finish. Like, I need to look up more information about this Bible. That thing is ridiculous.
I love that. That's like where you go. It's like, where do they get that Bible? Who has that Bible? Why is it so big? You have so many questions.
I do have a lot of questions for that book.
And then, of course, who stole the show out of all? Actually, 2 people stole the show out of all of this. And it was Michelle and Bernie Sanders, because Michelle came in.
What? I saw her get out of the car, and that was before everyone, because me, like the entire time I'm watching it, I'm also scrolling Twitter, my favorite. And I'm like, no one has said anything about Michelle yet, but I saw her when she hopped out of the truck. But it was once they made it inside the building, I'm like, this is all I'm ever going to think about for the rest of my days.
He came out in full like Matrix gear.
I loved it.
Just shining and glistening. And she showed up.
The bang, the belt, the monochromatic look, the walk.
I don't think she was that dressed up when her husband was sworn in. So she dressed up for Biden.
Well, she definitely wasn't that dressed up when Trump was sworn in, because she didn't even have her hair done. She just had it like slicked back in a ponytail. That was a huge thing people talked about. They were like, she wasn't with the shit then, because like
I remember
she didn't even bother. But she had that fresh sew in, like that's a natural sew in, like everything about it. I loved it. I loved all of the coats. I did. That was like a huge. I was like, you know what? I think I should grow up and become an adult and get a nice coat. But that's like a real investment.
I thought about that too. I was like, they have some really nice coats. That like it's to the point where you get old enough and you start looking at other people and you realize I am not an adult yet.
No.
Until I have one of those. So now I'm not an adult yet until I have a coat.
Yeah, I still wear like it's not a bubble coat, but I mean, it's not like.
Oh, I got hoodies. I don't even. I don't own a coat.
I've ordered like 3 hoodies in like the past month. I'm like, I'm gonna be hoodie forever, and then all of these women step out in these amazingly beautiful long coats, and I'm like, shit, I gotta grow up.
Get a coat. Dusters, yeah.
Oh, it was so good. So good. Yeah, we got to get coats, Brene.
You got to get coats. Now that's going to be the next thing. We're going to get coats, and then it's going to be like 80 degrees outside by the time we get them.
Yeah, global warming is going to be like, you thought.
Like, oh, you feeling dope now? While you're dying of heat stroke, you feeling dope?
In your coat, because I'm putting that coat on.
I'll be looking fabulous while over there sweating. It's fine. Got to get the Michelle on. But there was another reason why she was so into the news and in the memes, a lot of memes, was because of George Bush.
Oh, God, yes.
And that pretend fiction, of course, love relationship between them. Because, of course, every time you see them, he's like, they're holding hands.
He's like gushing. Like, he's like, yeah.
He's like a kid in a candy store every time he sees her. And it's just the most hilarious thing. And you see him just like, shaking, Obama's hands. Like, hey, what's going
on?
Up?
But Michelle, he has like, and you could tell he's smiling even behind the mask. Like, he's always so excited to see her. Yeah, I saw that one meme where it was like, no matter whatever it said, like Bush is gonna find Michelle. Like, yeah, he gonna locate her no matter where they are.
And he did. He does every time. I don't know what kind of like Erykah Badu wisdom she laid on him. Because, Erykah Badu changes people. Apparently, Michelle changes people.
Well, she changed him for sure.
She got 2 presidents in her pocket. So what's going on?
He like gifts her, what did he gave her candy. Whose funeral was that? Was that for John McCain? No. I don't know whose funeral it was. Remember when he like reached over Trump and Trump was looking at him like, what the hell? He's like giving her candy. Yeah. Like, here, you gonna need these mints, baby. Because I know you're hungry.
I'm gonna take you out to eat after this.
Okay? Don't worry about it. We're gonna eat after service. That is a strange, like, it seems like it's such a strange relationship, but I mean, I don't know. They seem like they're friends. They talk every time. He's always sitting next to her.
Well, and that's the thing too, though, because when people, of course, you go back on his administration and you can't forget all that has been done. But the older you get, you realize that he was just essentially a puppet in the whole thing. He didn't even want to be president, essentially. And they do say that after a certain time, some presidents do become, friends. I don't think that's ever going to happen with Trump, but there's that kind of camaraderie and understanding. Yeah. And there's one thing that you should not hold people up to is everything that they've done in the past, because people can change and you never know what's happening behind the scenes.
That's true. We definitely don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I think that this is the most attention I've paid to politics since I've been able to vote.
Yeah. So for the last 40 years.
Wow. Wow. You know what? Never mind. But yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe because, I'm still working from home and everything, and it's just been so in our faces because of the pandemic. And I'm just really noticing just how childish politics is. Yeah. It's so childish and it's so exhausting too. And I'm like, I thought that you guys got into this business basically for the people.
Yeah.
But really you just got into it to just to keep enriching yourselves, which is crap. I don't know.
And then you can totally understand why when good old Barry left office and people were asking Michelle to run, she was just straight up.
She put that with a hard stop. No, I'm not doing that. Because I didn't even want to do that shit when he did.
Yes, because it's stressful. By the time good old Barack came out of office, he had aged 40 years.
He did. His hair is all gray now. He did. And I can understand her not wanting to do it either, because just all of the crap that her and her kids had to go through, just the whole thing with her arms being out. And I'm like, girl, you could probably get the same arms too if you worked out. Like, it's not that big of a deal, like all of the scrutiny and stuff, you know.
All the crazy scandals once again.
The scandals and just all of it's so just trivial though. Like, you know, get to work, do some work.
Right.
Shit. Like I think that's really my thing is like, do some actual work. All this bickering, shut up.
Like you really do get tired of it. And I think, and I found myself kind of going on a rant, and of course, Groove goes on his rants as he does.
He gets banned off of Facebook.
Don't even get me. I'm not going to get started, but there comes a time, and I thought about it yesterday. It kind of hit me when I sat down and just kind of chilled out for a moment. You get tired. You get so tired of all. It's almost like, why haven't we passed this point yet? Why haven't we gotten like smarter? Why haven't we gotten past the whole race, the conservative versus like a liberal? Like it's too many categories. And I've always preached this about putting people into categories. It does nothing but separate and cause problems. Like, it's one of those things where you're looking for, I understand if you're looking for meaning for yourself, but once you start putting people in bubbles, you really start dividing. You forget all the similarities that you guys have.
Yeah, I agree. And then they fight about the division. You know, after having
oh my God, why are we like this?
Yeah, you know, then they fight about the division. I watched a video of a lady crying. I don't know if you've seen it. And she was crying and like pleading with Trump to save them.
Oh.
And she was going to have an anxiety attack. And then she made this strange comment that she was no longer seeing American flags flown. And I'm like, I just saw a flag land on someone's roof today. Like, you know, it was really strange, you know. And I'm like, what? And so, I was talking to my mom about that. I said, when did we reach the point where we, you know, on either side is like almost total devastation when it isn't our particular candidate or our party that's in charge, you know, where people are like crying and like falling out and hyperventilating because they think that it's the end of their world. Because she made that comment too. She was like, oh, you know, we're going to lose our country. This is our country. And I'm like, ma'am, you're old. So you've been under
wow.
You know, but I'm just saying, like, there have been Democratic presidents in your lifetime and you're still here to cry to me about it on your phone. But at the same time, I remember when Trump was elected and I told my mama, like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I said, but, you know, in hindsight, I was kind of right. Like, we should have, you know, but when do we get here? Like, where it's kind of like, oh my God, the world is going to end because the Democrats control everything or the Republicans control everything.
I think it comes from, it is, okay. I think it comes from that moment of realization that you put all of your energy, your effort, all of your eggs into this one basket, so much so to where you're projecting on this person. You're projecting your values, you're projecting your personality, you're projecting your day-to-day and how you feel. Like everything is projected onto this one person that you're essentially idolizing. And when that person and of course he's feeding like your head with lies and stuff throughout the day, so you believe it because of course you're going to believe it. He is your quote unquote savior. He's here to lift you up out of, you know, your white guilt perdition and raise you to become great because you live in your trailer and you just wanted like a house with 2 bedrooms. So at the end of the day, I think people idolize too much to where if anything happens, then their complete world is shattered. And that happens not just with politics, but with any kind of like whenever you get into an argument and you don't stop and think, well, why is this making me upset? Like, if you don't stop and think, why is it making you upset? It's probably an emotional reaction rather than a logical one. And they're not thinking with logic, they're thinking on emotion.
Well, I guess what I can't really understand about that is like, and I hate to keep bringing him up, but um, Donald Trump is a man of
Ugh.
means. I know he was a man of means before he became president, right?
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly, allegedly. So if he truly wanted to help people, he had the means to do so in a
Yeah.
multitude of ways, and it doesn't even have to be necessarily money coming out of his pocket. You have connections.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do good, if you wanted to help people get out of trailers, which there's nothing wrong with living in trailers because I've been in some really nice ass trailers before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to bring people up, I guess, or increase, or I don't know, like help their way of living. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanted to do all of that, you could have done that.
No, here's the problem with your way of thinking. He didn't want to.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So
nobody cared about Donald Trump beforehand. That's the crazy part. Nobody cared about him like before.
But why look at him as this great savior when he didn't save anyone before that, before he became president?
Because he preaches rhetoric that they themselves care about. Remember, I said they're projecting. So
Yeah.
So he's, talking and preaching and giving all of saying all of the racist and sexist things that they want to say, but they were always too afraid to say. But now that this, guy is running for office, one of the highest, I guess, honors you could have, they see him as overcoming, which is really weird to say, but don't forget, these people feel repressed. These people feel.
Why? I'm curious as to why so many people like that want to be oppressed. They really think that they're oppressed.
Yeah, that's what
and
they
I'm
think.
like, you guys have never been oppressed, because if you did, you wouldn't be clamoring onto this idea that you are. Have you actually spoken to oppressed people? Like, I feel like a lot of us have been trying to tell you that this is not a cakewalk.
They're oppressed because they can't say what they want to say without, getting people getting upset, and they feel like everyone's upset at their people because of the things that like a lot of their people did. And it's just like it's one of those things where, and I guess in their head they're thinking, well, I don't think that I'm this way, so why are you treating me like this when all I want to do is I just want to hang out with my N-words. I don't know, it's such a weird, because you can rationalize it, but you can't understand it.
Right. You are right. You are correct. I think that for me, I just kind of want people to stop idealizing politicians. Mm-hmm. True enough, I think that we need to hold every single last one of them accountable, and that goes for both parties. Mm-hmm. But I think that we have to stop looking to them to be saviors, because they aren't. When you look at
although Biden did sign those 17 executive orders.
Go ahead. Like a boatload of executive orders. And it seems like he signs 30 of them a day. A lot of them though, he's reversing dumb shit that the last administration did. But say when you're looking at the news and stuff like that, when they're always talking about food lines, mm-hmm. who's out there actually helping people? They're the churches, or they're these organizations. The people are helping one another. Right. People that don't have much are helping people that have less. So it's not always the government. It's not always the politicians. Yeah, when they come, they bring the cameras, but the cameras are already there.
Right.
So I think that we have to stop putting so much stock into thinking that they're going to save us, because I was just reading the other day about the the third stimulus, and one of those senators was like, "Oh, I think we should wait a few months. Let's see if people really need the money." And I don't think people really need the money right now. Let's wait a few months, because it's not the economy isn't suffering because people need money. The economy is suffering because of COVID. But
which is really ridiculous when you think about it, because one, yes, people, like, none of those things are wrong and none of those things are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive.
You're saying, oh, the money's not the problem. COVID's the problem. But COVID is the reason why people don't have money, because people are losing their jobs. And so they don't have money and they can't get new jobs. So,
like, last year that we needed to open the economy, that COVID wasn't the problem. The problem was that we closed down. COVID's not an issue, so we need to.
But that was money that was the problem at that time. But now COVID is the
issue. And I'm like, do they think that we're not paying attention? Because we have nothing but time to pay attention.
I feel like you said that on, like...
And I'm going to keep saying it, because we're actually... And I told my mom this too. I told her, I said, you know what? I miss the days when I didn't have time to know that any of this was happening.
Well, too bad. And I wanted to make this mention too, because you were talking about our two parties, because I don't know if you've heard, but Trump... trying to start a MAGA party.
Oh, so he's changed it from the Patriot Party. He did want to call it the Patriot Party.
This is as of yesterday, reported by the Washington Post.
Cool.
So he's threatening to start a MAGA party.
Well, have fun with that. I mean, do what you got to do, girl.
And it's QAnon people are divisive as well. Like, you have the people who are crying because, like, oh, he lied to us. This isn't right. Which I feel like you knew that beforehand. You're just upset because he lost. And then you have the people that are like, no, we need to stick with it and fight for our country. So, like, they also have divided into two separate groups.
All these factions, and all of them are stupid.
Yep. Agreed. But we haven't talked about good old, you know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't, because who are you talking about?
Sanders.
Oh, Bernie.
Yeah, good old Uncle Bernie.
Good old Uncle Bernie. Bernie with that leg crossed and those mittens across his chest.
My God.
He has gone on into meme glory. He's just... Did you see that one guy that got that tattooed on him?
What?
Like, the meme wasn't that funny.
It was...
Come on.
I know the meme is probably going to die out in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because what happens when you flood stuff?
You've given them a lot of time.
Well, okay. Well, I say this because people have a habit of just getting on your nerves. And I feel like they're still going to be talking about it, or is doing it 2 weeks, because you have those people in the back. They're like, this is still so funny. And the rest of us are trying to move on.
Oh, are those the Facebook people? They're the only people that are late to the party. Oh, I'm sorry. You're a Facebook person.
I feel like you're attacking me right now.
I mean, did you not attack me earlier when you said that I was super old and I've been voting since
Let's move on.
Oh, now we're going to move
past right now, and I'm looking towards the future.
That was 5 minutes ago.
That's in the past, is it not? Mm-hmm. You tell me how time works.
Time is relative.
Well, that may be true, but if I am 2 hours, there's liquor in my glass.
Well, you're looking at it like there's a bug floating in it or something.
Well, I'm looking at it like, do I want to just shoot it all down, just take it all down right now, or do I want to sip it?
What if you choke? Take the shot. Do it. Let me see.
Okay. It's a big shot.
You can do it. Oh, yeah.
Ta-da.
A champion.
That was pure whiskey. Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are just I cannot.
Well, what was I saying?
Oh, we were talking about Bernie.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about Bernie. Yeah, he's going to be a meme for a while. I think that's where
He's been a really good sport about it, and I saw that he was selling merchandise and he was
which
donating all of
is
the.
sold out.
Is it?
It's sold out, but to be fair, those sweaters cost like $45. So,
Oh,
and
whoa! Well,
the
I'm
way
sure
my bank account set up.
there are other people making tons of merchandise.
There's a slew of them on Etsy. Like there's
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah, you can find one for way cheaper. But I mean, it's for a good cause, though. I think
Yeah,
he's donating the proceeds. So
yeah.
it's pretty cool of you, Bernie.
And apparently, the woman who made the mittens, she's gotten like thousands of requests to make
Yeah, they've
mittens.
like bombarded her.
Yeah, and she's like, no, guys, like I'm one person with a family. I am
Yeah,
not.
girl, I don't have time to do all that. So I think that she's also donating her stuff to charity or something like that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I think she decided to make something else. I think it was like a knitted Bernie like doll or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's selling that for charity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Cool.
It is cool.
Deeds.
Good people do good stuff. Da, 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 da. Don't ask me why I decided to do that. I feel like I feel like this should be on PBS, but there's too much cursing. So
Clearly, yeah.
Well, all right. Yeah, other than that, I feel like I will say though, the way like I was on Facebook and I was on Twitter, so I'm not completely a Facebook person. So
Okay. I wasn't going to say anything else about you being a Facebook person.
So I was on Facebook and I was on Twitter just to see what was going on. And it did feel like a giant like weight was lifted. Of course, you had the Republican people who were, falling out and crying in the street saying, why is life unfair to me? And then you had everyone else that was kind of seeing this as a symbol of hope. And that felt really good. Like for the first time in a long time, I felt like the people of the internet, or at least my circles of the internet, felt like good about something.
Yeah, there was a sense of relief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the first time. And I think a lot of us we knew that, shit was heavy, but didn't realize just how heavy until, okay. Cause yeah, we got Biden, he won, he won. But then once he was sworn in and then once he got in there and immediately started working, like, okay, the adults are at the table now.
Yeah.
Like people with sense, like common sense, are at the table now. And I actually watched the first press briefing of his administration just because I know, adult. I super adult of me, but I just wanted to just see a normal, boring, and Jen Psaki, she took questions from everyone in the room and she took multiple questions and it was normal and it was boring. Yeah. And I was happy with that. No one lied to me that I know of.
Not yet that you know of.
Yeah, and if they did it with intelligence. And I respect that.
Yeah, they did it in a way that you couldn't point out. And you know what? That's all right.
That's how I like it. I like to just be dumb to allow.
And I don't want to forget to mention that, of course, Vice President Harris is the first Black Indian Black South Asian. Man, you kind of threw me off. I don't know what I was going to say there. Yeah, she's the Black South Asian female vice president.
I don't think it was me. I think it was that shot you took.
You know what? You're probably right. Also, like I'm wearing long sleeves and I'm kind of hot. I love long sleeves, but I hate being hot and I'm warm right now because the door is closed. And y'all don't need to know all this about my personal life. Just know that Vice President Harris is the first Black South Asian VP. And it is amazing, female VP, and it is amazing, it's awesome. And she has literally made history. And that inauguration was so diverse. It was pretty, it was almost historic to see. So, yeah.
It was historic. So, yeah, I'm glad that, you know, we can say that not only did we get the first Black president, we have our first Black South Asian woman vice president. And, you know, that's a little bit of, yeah, I kind of appreciate that considering how shitty everything else in life can be, that I can say that those are two moments that I am proud to be in the history books for.
Yeah.
All of this other shit, they can keep me out of.
Oh, like all that other shit in between, don't mention my name. But everything else, like those two moments right there, I'm fine with.
Yeah. Yeah, you can put me in there for that, but I don't want to be in there for anything else. Like, unless it's me like winning the Mega Millions or the Powerball, which I did not, because I'm still here doing this show. So,
whoa, you won't be doing this show regardless. Did you guys just hear her?
No, not if I win the Mega Millions or the Powerball.
Did you guys just hear her? You heard it here first on the Quarter Life podcast. She says she wins. She is out of here. I thought she was going to quit her day job. She's quitting all jobs.
You know, I read this article. This guy.
Of course he did. Okay.
I know how to read, Brene. Jesus. He's a psychiatrist, I think, for people who come into large sums of money, people who win the lottery. Go on. And he made the point to say that a lot of people who win extreme amounts of money don't know what to do with their lives, and that they become really kind of like jumbled up and messed up in the head and stuff. And he also said that you shouldn't quit your job immediately, that you should actually go to work the next day.
No. That's because them people didn't have a plan. See, people like us, we got plans. I have routinely gone over what I was going to do with that kind of money, and I laid it all out. And I'm a person that likes to stick by stuff. And when people have problems in general, when they win money, those problems are still there. You know what I mean? Those internal struggles. I ain't got that internal struggle like that. All my struggles were mostly financial based. So if I can take care of the financial base.
He said that you shouldn't even make any moves for 6 months. I mean, you do have to give. Well, I didn't, remember his name because I wasn't going to go to him. But, I do agree that you should, probably try to get like an accountant or a lawyer. Yeah. But it's not going to take me 6 months to do that, girl.
Exactly. It's like I said, I have a plan. Of course, I'm going to lay low for a little bit. And I'm not going to detail my plan because that means y'all knew that I won the lottery. I don't need y'all commenting, asking me for $5.
Which is why I'm not doing the show anymore. Our comments are going to be filled with people saying,
well, now they know that if you have quit the show, then you won the lottery. So
no, I could quit the show for a multitude of reasons.
Don't quit your job, he said.
No, he said you should go to work the next day. Do you think that I'm going to even remotely be productive the next day after winning $700 million?
I'm taking months off. I might take half a year off before I do anything else.
They won't be able to hit me in the ass with a red apple. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard that saying?
How old are you?
I love that saying. It's one of my favorite like little country sayings. Couldn't hit him in the ass with a red apple.
Wow. Complete.
You're welcome.
Here.
Yep. You're welcome.
I'm gonna have to grasp that for myself.
You'll never forget it, and neither will our listeners.
No. Thank you. You guys are welcome. She has bestowed upon you this gift. Use it wisely. But no. So before we run out of time here, I promised you guys a surprise. Speaking of bestowing gifts, and Kristen, you know what the surprise is.
I do.
So recently, I have come across a gem on the internet, as I typically do, drinking at 3:00 in the morning on a Saturday. And this I have not seen before. And of course, when you're on the internet, you kind of go down rabbit holes, and there's some crazy stuff out there, and there's some really good stuff out there. So this in particular just happened upon me. God has blessed me with this.
So dramatic.
I have to be. Well, when you listen to it or when you hear it, it's going to be dramatic. And I'm going to give it a second, like after I explain what it is. We're going to pause so our listeners can hear it. So apparently on Maury, and now I don't know when this was, but apparently on Maury, there was a man who claimed that the son was not his, that the baby was not his, that the kid was not his 3-year-old. And the reason why he said this was because, and I quote, he doesn't like chicken nuggets, end quote. And the father loves chicken nuggets. You hear what I'm saying now? The father loves chicken nuggets and the son does not. So you understand what I'm saying? And not only does the son, the 3-year-old, not like chicken nuggets, he also does not like condiments, which the father loves all condiments. Can you understand? And so clearly the kid, as I'm quoting by a famous author, famous musician, Michael Jackson, the kid is not his son. End quote. And
what is wrong with you?
I don't know, but it's the craziest thing. Now you brought me out of my,
Someone needed to.
You brought me out of my preaching. But not only that, but the dad likes chicken nuggets. Kid doesn't like chicken nuggets. He's 3 years old. The dad likes condiments. He likes all the condiments. Kid doesn't like condiments. And the kid is autistic. And the father, not only is he not autistic, but he says it doesn't run in his family, which is not how autism works. So clearly the father is not a scientist.
No.
So we're going to pause for a moment so you can hear it. And 3, 2, 1, pause.
Now, you don't think that you have autism in your family, so therefore he can't be your child.
No, Maury. I have no disabilities, Maury.
And because he doesn't like chicken nuggets, he can't be your child.
Right. I eat everything, Maury. She eats everything.
Don't you realize?
Your child, just because he doesn't like condiments, chicken nuggets, just because he does not like that stuff, doesn't mean he's not your son.
You don't even eat mayonnaise or ketchup. Look, no. My question to you is, why change our son's name to Cameron instead of Montreal Jr.?
Why have a junior when you cannot live up to the responsibilities of a father?
In the case of 3-year-old Montreal Jr., Montreal, you are the father.
Okay, we're bringing you back now.
Were we under hypnosis? We're bringing you back.
I mean, the clip is very hypnotizing. It's one of those things where you look at it, it's like a train wreck and you can't look away. You can't like cut it off because the sheer amount of balls this guy has to have on himself to say that it isn't his. And then to be like, oh, well, why, if the baby was mine, then why would she change the names? Because, bro, you don't want to claim him.
You don't want to claim him. But you know what's very interesting to me, besides the fact that this guy's on Maury like crime, but it's the fact that you're mad at a 3-year-old for not having the palate of a 3-year-old like you do. You have the palate of a 3-year-old and a 3-year-old does not. Like, why are you, so you're going to disown your son?
Oh, my son likes veggies and fruits and everything that's healthy for him. And I have garbage taste, so clearly he's not mine.
But we got to find out if he dips those nuggets in their mayonnaise. What was the point of having that large jar of mayonnaise? Oh, God, it's so gross.
If any of you out there dip your chicken nuggets in mayonnaise, tell us right now.
Please don't tell me.
No, because I need to find you and call the police because there is something wrong with that.
Please do not tell me if you're dipping your nuggets in mayonnaise.
It's so, it's weird. And why would that? Clearly the father, he turns out to be the father, obviously. But because that kid looked just like him.
Just like him.
Like, oh, and the little boy's so cute. Anyway, but clearly he's not the most intelligent thing in the world.
No.
And it's just odd. Why did you think you embarrassed yourself? You came onto that show, cried because you were so sure that your son is not, that boy wasn't yours because he didn't like chicken nuggets. And you know those are McDonald's chicken nuggets, the way they had them up there, the way they were shaped. Those were McDonald's nuggets. Those are unmistakably McDonald's.
I just don't get big upset about that thing, but then like crying because she's like, I'm going to change his name to Cameron, which first of all, he's 3, so he's not going to even know. You start calling this baby a completely different name. He was like, girl, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
It's too late. Like if you wanted to change his name, he needed to be like, I don't know, a week old or something.
You should have been like, that's a mistake. Let me
change his name in the middle of him knowing already that his name is Montreal.
Like, he's gonna be so confused.
Like, I don't know. I'm really kind of upset that you were up watching Maury at 3 a.m. Well,
it wasn't my intention, okay? I was looking up regular ass people shit at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that just
sleep.
Well, okay, let's spin this the other way. Shut up. But we just happened to come across it, and it was so baffling. We needed to look up the entire clip, and it did not disappoint. And at first I thought I saw something else. I was going to rabbit hole for real because I thought I saw an episode of Maury that said, I'm shocked that I'm Black. And I was going to click on it, but it said back, not black. So that saved me another 2.5 hours. But that's what you do, right? You start seeing stuff and you go down that hole, and it's hard to climb yourself out of.
Oh my God.
It happens. This is why I thought I was stressed out and not sleeping well, but it turns out it's not just because of my job.
Not just because.
It's
why
also
else?
because of the internet.
Because of the internet.
Yeah, I blame humanity on this one. This isn't my fault.
Wow. And so now it is all of humanity's fault that
all of humanity. Y'all put this stuff on there.
And then not only that, you shared it with other people. You made me watch the video.
I did.
You're making the listeners watch the video. So now we all know this useless information about this man going on Maury because his baby don't like chicken nuggets.
I can't be in this alone. Okay. If I'm going down, everybody going down. Okay, that's how I do. That's how I roll.
That is terrible.
I know, but
please let me know what you think about the baby and the chicken nuggets.
Have you ever like had a moment where you thought, I know some of you may or may not have kids, but if you do have kids, or even if you have a pet, because Tango has done some things, which is my cat. Tango has done some things that was suspect, and I'm like, oh, you're not mine. What is one thing that somebody has done that you completely disclaim them for? It could be a sister, it could be your mama, it could be a cat, your dog, your baby, whoever. Let me know, because I'm curious.
Oh my God.
You ain't got no
crazy
disclaim.
No, I don't. But if it's as crazy as Nuggets, definitely share it, because that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I had to.
Hilarious.
I had to give you guys that because
thank you.
Yeah, I can't rest on this knowledge alone. That's what this platform is for. So
is it?
It is now.
This is the second time you've talked to us about chicken. Do you have something you want to tell us?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Because we had the other guy who was, who basically wanted to say that boneless wings are just chicken tenders. They're just spicy nugs. And I agree with that. And I said I would join his cult. And now we have chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Being the reason why this dude thought it wasn't. It's something with chicken. Clearly. I need to go down another rabbit hole.
Well, you are Black.
I am Black.
So
could my Blackness, which I also found out I may be Black, but I'm also like 14% European.
Well, who isn't? Transatlantic slave trade.
Well, I have a friend that's like 99% Korean and 99% Asian and like 0.1% Egyptian.
Okay, well, let me say this then. Who isn't that's Black in America? So you did a
23andMe. Yeah.
Okay, I've thought about doing that, but I was kind of nervous.
I have a coupon, friend. I have a coupon. You want a coupon?
Sure.
All right, I'll give you a coupon for 30% off.
What are you, like an old Black dude in the
I had to.
Clearly.
I wanted to say, so I'm 29.3% Nigerian, 84.5% sub-Saharan African. So I'm like a whole bunch of African. And I am 0.3%, which Groove is proud of this, Caribbean. Like my recent ancestry came from like the Caribbeans.
Okay.
More specifically Jamaican, which he swears up and down that I'm Islander. And
I love Jamaica.
yeah, I ain't never been. So how can I be Islander if I ain't never been? I mean, to be fair, I ain't never been to Scandinavia, and I'm Scandinavian.
A little bit of Scandinavian?
Yeah.
You have a little, oh, whoa.
Well, that's where my last name comes from. Inge is actually Scandinavian. My early ancestry it dates back to Scandinavia.
Okay.
See, these are the things you learn from like 23andMe, not sponsored, but they can too if they want to. So
yeah, so then I can really just like get that test for free.
Yeah, you really could. So maybe you need to wait I'd give it a few months before we get a sponsor.
I love that. I love that you just spoke that into existence. We're going to be sponsored.
You have to bring it in. Yeah. And now I'm curious as to if any of our listeners have ever done the 23andMe and have you found any results that surprised you or shocked you?
Do you have to like sign over the rights to your DNA?
No, like they have a whole list of things that you allow them like to use your DNA for, and not whatever, like we didn't get the health, anything, whatever. We didn't say that they could keep it for like further research or anything like that, just use for tracking our ancestry and stuff. I think there's some other like tests that they say like, hey, if you want to opt in for this, everything is opt in. So you either opt in for it or you don't.
Cool. How long did it take to get the results back?
We took it in, I want to say December, and we got our results. Yeah, we got our results January, I want to say like 8th, but it really varies. Like we were supposed to get our results February 8th to the 22nd, but we got them like a month early. So it really just
depends. What are they doing right now?
I mean, really, yeah, you're right. I mean, they ain't got nothing else to do. I don't know. New administration, new priorities, right? So
what does that have to do with 23?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
we're off the rails.
We are. I just had to share that it all started with the chicken nugget guy, man.
Yeah, there's something with you and that damn chicken. Don't forget to send me that coupon. And you guys, don't forget to tell us down in the comments how you feel about Chicken Nugget Guy, how you feel about the inauguration, or just how you feel in general, because life is hard. And we want to make sure that everyone's in a good mental headspace.
Yeah. Oh, and also, while you're doing all that, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Too. That is like muchos important.
And share it.
Please share it. Yeah, because
I think people would like to hear us babble on about chicken nuggets.
That's true. That's true.
DNA.
Yeah. Well, as always, Kristen, thank you for co-hosting this podcast and actually showing up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I can't make any promises during Super Bowl weekend, Super Bowl Sunday. So, you know.
Okay, well, we might shoot early. Oh, crap. My little brother's birthday is the day before Super Bowl. We'll figure something out. If not, we'll take a break. I mean, you guys are used to us taking breaks anyways. Anyway, thank you guys for listening as always and being there for us. You guys are wonderful and awesome. And I'm not just building your head up so you like, subscribe, and share, but because we rely on you.
Those things.
But still do those things. And until next time, bye guys.
Bye.